Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm here to inspire you to change your mindset and gain momentum so that you can transform your life one little step at a time. And today we are going to chat about the ingredients that you need to be successful. It's going to be a two-part series because Mama's got a lot to bring you today. And I think that, no, I take that back. I know that these steps can be applied to any area of your life where you are looking to succeed, right? Who is looking for success? Raise your hand. I want to see your hand. Come on, raise your hand. Don't be shy. We all want success, right? The problem is that we all want to be successful in all the different facets of our life, right? And so it can be a little bit overwhelming at times, especially if you get yourself into a rut and you feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to claw my way out of this? So I think that it is important to figure out the number one area that you need and want to be successful in. Okay, let's just start with one area, because if we start with like every area in your life, it might be a little bit overwhelming. Now, some of you, I know, maybe you'll be even brave enough to raise your hand again and admit, like, I want to do this to everything. And you want to roll out this into every little part of your life. Hey, have at it, sister. That's totally fine with me. Just don't make it so that you're completely and thoroughly overwhelmed. As I did mention, this is going to be a two-part series about how to be successful. And I've really been thinking about this, what I think the first step that we all need to figure out is, what does success look like for you? Okay, I haven't even started in with the list. Y'all, those of you who've been following me for a while know I am a list person. So I'm going to give you probably the first four things that you need to focus on today, and then I'll come back with the next 5. There's about 9 or 10 things. But I want you to think about the area that you want to be the most successful in. And I want you to think about what success looks like in that realm, in that area, okay? And then I want you to think about these 4 things as it relates to that area of being successful, all right? So the first thing, this is just so important to being successful, to finding success, and to living with success. You have to have ambition. You have to be an ambitious person. Now, some of you are like, well, I'm quiet, I'm an introvert, I don't see myself as being ambitious. Yes, everyone has ambition in there. So you got to dig for it, dust it off, and use it to your advantage. I've got some notes here because you all know too that I can get talking, and this video will be 3 hours long if I don't stick to my notes. So ambitious people always see what they are capable of doing their best at, what they want to do. We all have a list of wants and dreams and hopes. So refer back to that. Think of what you want. If you feel that you're not good enough or you're not capable of getting to that goal, then you're going to be unlikely to get to that goal. So you have to be ambitious. You have to think positive, and you have to go after it. If you really take the mindset of, I can do this, I think I can. I mean, how great of a story was that? The little 𝐀𝐥𝐥. When we were kids, you have to apply that mentality, and you have to be ambitious to have success in any area in your life. So you just basically have to own it and do it. Okay. Now, yes, depending on what you're working on, that could be a lot of plans and a lot of moving pieces and everything. So this is why I suggest that you apply these things to the area in your life that you want to be the most successful with. The next thing that we all have to have, and this is a hard one for a lot of people, because maybe you've had experiences in the past where you have been either mentally or physically or even just figuratively beaten down on something, right? You need to have courage. Now, courage mixed with a little fear because you're nervous of moving forward, and maybe, the thought of success makes you a little bit nervous. That's okay. A little fear is okay. But you don't want to be so paralyzed in fear that you can't move forward, that you don't have any momentum to move forward, right? So the other thing that I think that people, when they think of courage, they get it intertwined with their fear of failure. Now, no one on the face of the earth who has ever been successful at anything did it perfectly without falling on their fanny a few times, right? So you have to have the courage to just do what you want to do. Tackle what you want to tackle. If you are crippled by the fear of failing, you will never succeed in anything. You know, I see this with people that are just on the verge. They've gotten so far in whatever journey they're on to success, whatever that path looks like. And then they start to screw it up somewhere in the middle, maybe just past the middle, because they are so afraid. They're so close to success, but they're so afraid of what that is going to look like, how that is going to feel. And then they just give it all up. And then they're back to point zero again. They let the fear take over and they didn't let the courage take over. Courage is something that you really have to develop and hone. And when the ego starts creeping in and you're feeling those negative feelings, you have to learn to shut the door on that negative talk. And you have to just keep pushing forward. I think the other thing that's really important about courage is an integral part of it is don't get so caught up on yesterday or last month or last year or 10 years ago or something where you failed and it was uncomfortable and you didn't follow through and you didn't see the success. If you get caught up in that, you will never have the courage to succeed. So I think some of the most courageous people I know, and when I look back at times when I have been successful and I have been courageous, I have lived one day at a time. Each day, I try and do a little bit better. I have the courage to do a little bit more. I have the belief in myself to do a little extra work, learn something a little bit better, build on yesterday. Don't worry about yesterday's mistakes if there were any, or shoot, if you fell down, don't worry about it. We have today, and today we can be courageous. Okay, are you with me so far? So we did ambition, we did courage. The next thing that I think that a lot of us screw up is another C word. It's commitment. Why are people so afraid to commit to things? Why is that? I don't quite understand. If you are going to be successful at anything, you are going to have to commit to it. And you know what? Out of that commitment, it might mean that maybe some friendships fall to the side. It might mean that if you're going to commit wholeheartedly to being successful in something, maybe your family dynamic is going to have to change a little bit. Any of you mamas out there who are just like, well, I can't do it because I need to be a mom and I need to work and I need to clean the house and fathers feel that too. But you feel like you're stuck because you have and. Okay, well, I am here to tell you that it is okay to loosen up the reins on some of the and stuff. If you have to pull back from certain things to be successful, so be it. Okay? In the end, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. So the next, so part of being committed, when someone is committed, they have determination. I love that word. And again, that determination goes with the idea of learning, of moving forward, of being able to see the goal and reach for the goal at all costs, being committed to it all the time. Success, you can't be successful without commitment. It's like there's no way around it, right? So the most successful people are always just very committed. And I know that sometimes, you know, when I've seen successful people, like whatever they're working on, whatever it is, it's like they've got tunnel vision during that period of time. And at first it might be uncomfortable if you're like watching. But in the end, when you see that they get the success, you're like, oh my gosh, now I see what you were doing, right? You need to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing and believe in your goal and have the commitment to get there. That is going to make you successful. Okay, so the fourth one, well, I said we're going to do 4 today because we're coming up here on 10, 11 minutes, is this is a trait that some people just don't have. But you know, if you don't have it, we can help you find it. You're just going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to dig deep because a lot of people are doormats when it comes to this one. It is so important. And it is willpower. And I've got someone at the door. So maybe we will continue with this one tomorrow. We'll start back at willpower. I thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. As always, I ask you to be well and believe in you.